Thank you. Good win against a good team. So, Rhett probably didn't have his best stuff today, but he battled and he was working on a two-seamer today. So he threw more two-seamers than he's really been throwing. So kind of maybe fell into some disadvantage counts, obviously hung the 0-2 pitch for the home run. But other than that, got two big double plays for us. And then Sully obviously came in behind him and allowed the one solo home run, but threw the ball well. I mean, 14 strikeouts and 2 walks on the day for our pitching staff. That's going to get you a lot of wins for sure. Offensively, Pierce Bennett's home run was obviously the big one to put us up top, and then had some 2-out RBIs kind of in behind that. But obviously the long ball was the story today. We hit some home runs off their starter, who's Buchanan's a good college arm. So pleased with our offensive approach, kind of up and down the lineup today. And it's good to see Sess get going a little bit today, have some better at-bats. And so hopefully he's starting to turn the corner. And then Bennett Lee, obviously a great game by Bennett from Bennett Lee as well.
Weekend game with your ace on the mound at home against the team from one bid league, the Swing Games probably. Does this feel like maybe a regional opener to you a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, you could see somebody exactly like this in a regional opener for sure. We had a great crowd. I was, kind of really happy with the Deacon fans have been coming out to support this team. So really thankful for that. And it was a big game for Wofford. They're kind of, right there in that RPI range where they're, if the season ended today, they'd get an NCAA tournament bid. And I know last year they were probably the last team out last year. So, it's a team that has a ton of success and is used to winning. So it was good for us to be able to spread the lead there.
You guys have had as much success as you've had this year. How do you keep challenging these guys to keep coming out like this?
Well, we just talked 2 days ago, just about posting up. I mean, we just got to, it's a veteran club, so I don't worry too much. Our energy's so good. They care about each other. So it's just a matter of we're just kind of focused on the here and the now. We're not looking too far down the line. So we need to keep stacking wins and obviously, hopefully put ourselves in position for a national seat. What's that?
You could leave looking down the line to me.
Yes, you're good at that.
So, Wofford gets 4 runs in the 4th and hit that 2-run bomb and put some things together, and they all of a sudden have a lot of energy and momentum. But you kind of hope, saying to yourself, okay, this is kind of what we need. We need this test here. For sure. We have to play from behind. I mean, we're not going to play from the lead all the time. I was happy with how we responded immediately. Pierce Bennett singles to start the inning on a 1-0 pitch, and then Adams Asiri singles through the 4-hole, and Pierce goes first to third, and then Bennett Lee has a good situational at bat and gets us to 4-3. So we kind of grabbed some of that momentum right back, which I was really happy about. And then the very next inning, obviously Pierce Bennett comes back up with 2 outs and hits the home run to put us on top. And I was glad we got that win for Rhett Lauder too. Rhett, so many times Rhett has picked us up. It's good for good to see his offense pick him up, get him the win. Kind of follow up on Comer's talk of like looking ahead. When you look out across the league, what do you see? It looks like, with 9 games left in the conference, it kind of looks like Wake Forest and everybody else. It's just this weird, huge gumble that on any given week, anybody can beat everybody. You guys have kind of stood above that. What's the key to finishing out these last 9 games and keeping it that way, I guess?
Yeah, keep winning series. I mean, we're 7 for 7 on series wins, and if we win the last 3 series, then I don't know if it's mathematically possible for us not to win the league. I mean, so that's number one is find a way to just keep winning series. And again, we've done it a couple different ways this year. We've won the first 2 and then lost on Sunday. We've lost the first one and then won the next 2. And then you see Pitt goes out and beats Cal twice so far this weekend. So to your point, Les, I mean, in our league on any given weekend, you can get swept in our league. So we've got to kind of continue to come to play for sure. We've got a lot at stake.
A few weeks ago, in regards to midweek games, you said you felt like the team was playing not to lose. And I know this is a weekend game, but kind of a little bit like a midweek. What were your thoughts in terms of the team maybe not playing, in that same way?
Yeah, I felt like, starting with the Coastal game, I felt that way against Liberty, playing not to lose. But since Coastal, And then carried over into today. And I was really pleased with our energy and our approach for sure. So, we've got, we've got one tomorrow, obviously against High Point, and then we've got the UNC Greensboro and the Wilmington. So we've got kind of 3 quote unquote non-conference games left. So hopefully we'll kind of continue this trend.
You spend a lot of time, it seemed like in the preseason, talking with the team about the expectations that were made upon, based upon Jeff Journey and what you brought in. You've stayed hovering in the top 5 all season long, just moved into #1 spot on the RPI. Are those topics you revisit or go back to now as you've gone, 80% through the season and are living up to those expectations? Are those topics kind of dead in your team?
Yeah, we're not talking about expectations anymore because we've kind of to this point in the season, we've kind of met and exceeded expectations. So, what we're talking about now is just the energy we bring every day, in our verbiage, in our talk, our self-talk. After that pit loss on Friday, in that late part of that game, there was some kind of chirping in our dugout and we just kind of heard some things that we didn't really like. So we talked about that, pregame on Saturday. And we've really made it a point to kind of lock down, how we speak, we're big believers in kind of putting positive energy out there into the universe and it comes back to you. So, but it was good. We were, as a staff, we talked after that pit game, we're kind of glad it happened because we needed to see how this team would respond.
Was it chirping at each other or chirping at the other team? Or?
Just chirping at each other, you know what I mean? Questioning pitch calls, questioning like whether we should bunt or not, like things like that we all question, that I question more than anybody on the planet. I question every decision. I question whether I should have brought the infield in today or not. So, we're always questioning decision. That's what baseball is. We just can't do that in the moment. Like after the fact, you want to sit in your hotel room and eat a piece of pizza and talk about those things. And that's baseball. And you should talk about it. But in the moment, we've got to kind of all be pulling the same direction.
For a team that has such high aspirations, do you feel like you need those moments of adversity, like you said, but also even today going down?
For sure. I think the pit loss on Friday was and how we responded to that was good for us because today we got down and there was no panic. We're down 4-2. It's early in the game. We got Rhett Lauder on the mound and we got Sean Sullivan behind him. Then, there's no panic. So let's just keep grinding at bats.
Well, pitching wise, assuming you start Harville, do you try to get Reed Muscola some?
No, probably not. My guess is we need to get Cole Rowland in there. He hasn't. He needs to kind of. We've got to get him more touches here down the stretch. His last couple outings have been just okay. So Cole will pitch for sure. We need to get Manassi 6 outs because we really haven't done that with him in a while. So I want Manassi in there for 2 innings. So. If I were a betting man, what it would look like, it'd probably be Hartle 6, Rowland 1, Manassi 2.
So Reed's going to go 2-3 weeks without pitching.
We'll get
him back up for the next midweek.
And we're changing Reed's kind of pitch repertoire right now too. So it's actually not a bad time for him to get a kind of a little refresh. We're going to add a cutter to his repertoire, and he might drop down here and there. So I think it's good. I mean, we'll probably have on Tuesday, some guys throw the hitters live, Crum and Areola and Chase and Will Ray and Reed Muscola. We'll probably have those guys throw a couple hitters on Tuesday just to kind of stay in the flow of seeing hitters.
Worked out last year for Josh Hartle, adding a cutter late, right?
For sure. And I think that'll make a big difference for Reed. I think his breaking ball's kind of been rolling, and I think it'll help him stay through that break. I think his breaking ball and the cutter will be a good pitch for him. So,
is there a plan right now in terms of midweek going forward? Will you guys switch to Seth, or are you going to keep him as a long way?
No, Seth, we need Seth on the weekends. That was kind of a one-time thing with Coastal, because it was a big game for us. And, Seth will be out of the bullpen on Friday against BC. Now, if there's a scenario where, well, no, there's no scenario where Seth would start on a Tuesday. No, there's no scenario where Seth will start because again, the following weekend at Wilmington, we've got a short week with that Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. So, we like Seth right where he is.
What game next week? You have a little leeway to do that.
We're not with finals. We can't, typically that Tuesday is our reading day and we would play. But it's this year, it's not a reading day. So we're kind of on lockdown. We'll be 2 games short. We lost the NC State game and then the App State game. So we'll end up 2 games short. Well, it shouldn't. So, again, got to keep playing well.
Anything on Zoom? Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.